The stamp set that we're going to be using is Pretty Perennials. And to make this card, you have to, depends on the size of flowers you're using and all that kind of stuff, you have to stamp a lot of stuff. You'll see in a minute. So the colors that I chose was, which I wanted to do, which the card we're going to be doing is going to be Magenta Madness, but I misplaced my ink pad. I have no idea what I did with it. So we're going to use this one just for the stamping. Highland Heather, Daffodil Delight, and then we have some gorgeous grape too. And I did use Granny Apple Green for the leaves. Well, let me grab that. Actually, yeah, it's right here. I have no idea what I did with my Magenta Madness. I had it in class, so there's no telling what I did with it. So anyway, so what you want to do to get started is start stamping a whole bunch of flowers and leaves and whatever you want to use for your frame. So I'm using this flower, the smaller flower here, this teeny flower, the two leaves, and then I'm going to stamp in the center of the flowers. So I'm starting out with Highland Heather, and I need a piece of scrap paper. So hopefully, here we go. Nope, that's not. Well, shoot. I got to go into my drawer and get some scrap paper. Go figure. And I'll just use this. Oh, what happened? Okay, so let's go ahead. Lynette, you still there? Or did you disappear? You're being quiet. Okay. Yeah, I want to do this full strength, I think. So I'm just going to stamp my flower. And I'm going to stamp a whole bunch of purples, okay? And then I want to clean this off. And then I'm going to stamp a whole bunch of yellows. But I've already, excuse me, gone ahead and done that and die cut them. Because if I didn't, we would be here all night for me to do that. So I am just going to stamp a couple just to kind of show you what I did. That one I did stamp off. So I stamped off. Okay, and then I did my little tiny flower in Magenta Madness, and I stamped it off, but this is Melon Mambo, so, but it's okay. Did that. Then I did the leaves and Granny Apple Green, and I inked up the one with the lines in it, with the leaf veins. I inked that up. Then I came in with the solid piece, stamped it off, and then just stamped that on there like so. And then I just took my dies, the Pretty Perennial dies, or yeah, I think that's what they are, and lined them up there, cranked it through the Big Shot, or shoot, the Boss, and cut them all out. And this is what I came up with. Only I had a whole bunch more than these because I've already halfway prepped one so that I could take some of the time out that it takes to do this. And then I have all of these that are all die cut. Got a frog in my throat tonight. So they're all ready to go. So what we need now is a piece of basic white. This is cut to 5 1/4 to 4. And then we're just going to start. Let me move all these ink pads out of the way here because we do not need them. And the stamp set because we don't need that. So I'm going to bring this over. Aren't these beautiful colors? It's so springy and pretty. I really love it a lot. So then what you're going to do is just take your flowers and just place them around where you want them to go. So you want some to hang off the edge and some that don't hang off the edge, and just kind of just place them around different places. And let's see, I think I want this one to go up this way more. And when you put them on here, you'll rearrange them a couple of times until you get it exactly like you want it. And I always start with my bigger flowers. I don't know if that's necessary or not, but that's just what I do. And oh, I forgot to tell you guys, I did stamp the centers in these flowers too, as you can tell. So I just used Gorgeous Grape, and then I used Daffodil Delight Full Strength, and then I used Magenta Magnus Full Strength for the little ones. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to put a yellow one here. I don't really like that one. Let's do this one there. And then I want one in the center. So let's see, this one's a good one. We'll put that one right there. And I think this one's going to go up a little more. This one's going to come here. Oops, no, purple. I want a purple one in here to kind of break up this yellow. So just like so. And then we're going to put in the pink ones. So we're just going to kind of place them around different places. And I don't think, there we go. I think that will go kind of like that. And one down here and here. So like I said, you'll play around with it and figure out exactly how you want yours to be. I think we need another pink over here. So I think just like that. Okay, so yep. Hey Patricia, how are you? I haven't seen you in a long time. Hope you're doing okay. And then you just want to place your leaves around, kind of fill in with your leaves. So, and like I said, you're going to be moving them around until you get them exactly like you want them. But that's the beauty of it, and that's fun. That just makes it fun. So it's like putting together a puzzle, trying to figure out exactly where you want all of your flowers to go. And I'm not going to spend like a whole lot of time doing this because I could sit here for hours and do this until I got it just so. But I won't do that to you guys tonight. So I'm going to stick this one here, stick this one here, and I might not even have enough leaves. I'm going to stick that one like that. Move this up. Stick a leaf. Let's put one here. Let's put that one going up. Move that over some. Just like that. So this is all that you do. It's not hard at all. It just, like I said, it's just a little time consuming, but it's super easy. Okay, so I am thinking that I am pretty happy with the way that this looks. I probably, well, I only got one little more green leaf, so let's stick it. Nah, we won't. Okay, so now this right here is the key. This is the secret to the floating frame. Okay, oh good. You're going to take a little sheet of this. This is the press and seal. You get this in Walmart, your Kroger, wherever it is you go grocery shopping at. And you just break one off that's big. One side is a little sticky, one side isn't. You want to stick the sticky side down, carefully not to move where you put them. Just like that. So that one moved on me. So let me get my thing and just straighten that right up. Come on. Just like that. I think that's probably good. Alright, so just like so, and then you're just going to press it and make sure that it's all pressed down really good, because this is the trick. So I want to make sure that it's sticking to everything. Hope you had a good birthday, Patricia. I know you just had a birthday not too long ago. Okay, here we go. I just really want to make sure that this is nice and stuck. Okay, so now we're going to pick this up, peel this off of the paper. Just like that. I'm going to move this because I don't think I need it. I'm just going to trim off some of this press and seal paper. I'm going to trim some of this off. My mind is so full of stuff that sometimes I forget what I'm saying in mid-sentence. I don't think there's room for anything else. Okay, so come on. I'm telling you, this stuff is sticky. Okay, just like so. All right. Now, there's two ways that you could do this. You could run this through your Boss, the Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine, just like this. Or you could peel off your cardstock and then, well, no, first you want to lay, you want to lay your, these are the Stitch Rectangle dies, and they're carrying over, so I'm excited about that. So you just want to decide what, which size you want. I'm going to use this size right here. And you just want to try to get this in here even, like straight. Which the one I did earlier was not straight, but we're still going to use it because it'll be all right. Just like so. And then you're going to take a sticky note or some washi tape and kind of just like tape that down on there. Which, let me see if I can get that straight. It probably isn't, but anyway. So I'm just going to take some washi tape and just kind of hold that down. Now, you can run it through, like I was saying, you could run it through your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine just like this, or you could carefully remove the cardstock and then run it through just like that. But I'm going to run it through on the cardstock. So I'm just going to turn around and put it, I can grab this so you guys can see what I'm doing. So I've got my layer, so I've got my base, then I have this little mat here, number 2 and number 3, and then another number 3. Now, I probably should do it without the cardstock because it seems to cut better all the way through because you're going through layers of cardstock in certain areas. But I would just run it through a couple times and hope and pray that it does. So then I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to turn it. So I'm going to turn it like that and run it through again. Hey, Nikki. Oh, hey, Bella. Run it through again. And I'm going to hope that it cut all the way through. Which it still needs to run a little bit more in a couple of areas. So let's put this on here again. And you know what? I think I'm going to give it just a little bit of a shim to kind of help it. All right, so it's where it's going through a couple of different layers is where it's like, you got to just make sure it cuts all the way through. Which, for whatever reason, it's not wanting to cut all the way through for me. Okay. Let's try it again. All right, I'm going to put it through this way now. So if you don't want the problem of not sure if it's going to cut all the way through or not, then you would want to take the cardstock off, and it probably would cut a whole lot better that way. Sometimes it cuts perfectly for me, just run it through twice, and then sometimes I get a couple of really stubborn areas. Okay, let me see here. I think it's going to be all right. I think with some scissors and everything, I think it will be just fine. So let me move that out of the way. Move this one out of the way. Okay, so we want to leave, this should come out. Let's see, let's pop that off of there and pop this side here off. Like that. There, it popped right out. Okay, so now what I want to do is carefully remove this frame here. Uh-oh. Okay, so my press and seal kind of folded over the back end of this. There we go. All right, so all right, there we go. All right, so this is, you know what I forgot to do though, you guys? I can't believe this. I totally forgot that I wanted to trim to trim off this. So you want to trim off your edges. I'm just getting ahead of myself. All right, so you just want to trim these off. Now that this isn't stuck on there very good now, but that's all right. We're going to make this work. You guys get the idea of what to do, hopefully. I'll do another video, like not a FaceTime live, so that you can see it a little better on how to do it. So much pressure on a live, because you never want to mess up, and you always mess up when you're doing a live. So, all right. Okay. Well, phooey. It's really not this hard, I promise. I will do a live on this. Not a live, but a YouTube video to show you guys exactly how to do this, because I'm totally flubbing this one up. Totally flubbed Wednesdays up too. I don't know what's going on with me. Put one of my die cuts upside down and never noticed it. Dropped a butterfly die and couldn't find it. Alright, so now we're ready to pull this off. Just like so. And then I'm going to bring in we're going to put this aside because we're going to use that. I'm going to bring in my silicone mat here. I'm going to put this on top of this. And this is the part that takes a long time. And that's because you've got to make sure that you put all of your, which I'm not sure what I did with them all, but you got to put all your dimensionals on every little piece, even the little tiny ones, or you'll lose them. So I just cut them into small little pieces. I froze. You might have to go in and go out and start over because I'm fine here. Is everybody else okay? Can someone type in the comments to go out, come in and come out for me, please? Okay, so that's what you want to do, is you want to put a dimensional on every one of those little pieces. And then I just had a brand new sheet of them over here earlier when I was doing all of this, so that I didn't have to sit here and you guys have to watch me do this. So, so that's all I'm doing, is putting these dimensionals on there, on all of them. You're good, you're good, okay. Good, good, good. Like I said, this is the hardest part, is just putting all of these. It's not hard, it's just time consuming. It's just to put all of these dimensionals on here, which I'm going to have to grab another sheet, because gosh, it's going to take too long using all those little ones. I just had a brand new sheet. Oh well. Okay, here we go. So I'm just making sure that all of it is covered, because you just don't want to, you don't want a little piece to fall off. And then I have some leaves that are behind some flowers, so I want to make sure that they're on there good. You want to make sure that there's plenty of, that it's going to have plenty of support underneath too, so that it doesn't sag on you anywhere. And then I'm going to cut a couple of these, so you guys kind of get the picture of what to do, right? So it's just like that. So I know that I missed a couple of spots, but when you're doing yours, you just make sure that you get everything covered really well. So I'm not going to sit here and make you guys watch me do all of that and then take all of the backing off of that. So then after you get it all done, you take off all the backings to it, and you just make sure that it's all nice and straight. This one's stuck to something there. You make sure that it's all straight. Then you bring in a piece of cardstock. You can use the one that you cut if you want to. Never mind. No, you're not. Okay, so just bring in another piece of cardstock. That's the same size that you cut that from. So we did 5 1/4 by 4, and then you just kind of line this up as straight as you can. And I'm not going to push down yet until I know, or I think that I am pretty straight. All right, and then I'm just going to flip this over. So there we go. And I'm a little crooked. This is the one that I cut crooked. This one I cut straight right there. So maybe I should have just went ahead and peeled all the backings to it, because this one definitely is crooked. So I wonder if I could, I pushed it down, I shouldn't have, but I'm wondering if I could maybe, no, this is going to be too much trouble to do that. Yeah. I was thinking maybe I could just slide that side up a little, but no, then it's going to be crooked down here. It'll just be crooked. Okay, so we've got that and all of that. So now what you just want to make sure that they're all pushed down and stuck really well. Then what you want to do is get you a piece of this resin seal started here. I can just get a little piece going here. Let me take this in here. And then you want to just carefully peel this up. Because we ran it through the die cut machine so much, it really pressed it in there. So we want to peel it carefully, not to rip any of our flowers. Stuff's so sticky. And just get it going again. I'm constant. Oh, I just pulled the sticky right off of that. There we go. Oh, I missed some of the backings. That's what happened. Ah. I'm like, no, that shouldn't be doing that. Why is that doing that? All right, so let me see if I can line this up. This goes, I know that needs to go. Uh-oh. We'll have to do some doctoring on this. We have to do a lot of doctoring. I'm just going to line that up right there. So that doesn't have the sticky either. Wow, I really did miss a whole section. It's all right. Okay. We're almost done with peeling this stuff up. I think maybe it would probably be a little easier if you did. Oh, missed a sticky on that too. Goodness. Okay. It would be a little bit easier. Oh, see how that ripped right there? Shoot. If you pulled the cardstock off and then ran it through. I think it would work a little better that way. It wouldn't be where you had to run it through so many times. Okay, so come on. Ooh, this really stuck on this end. Okay. And I think, all right, so there we go. Woof. All right, we got that. Now you want to stamp a sentiment, which you probably should do. Again, don't do like me. Stamp it before you adhere this down, because you could use your other. Hey, Chris, you can use your other, the part that you cut it out with. You can use that as your template to lay down so you know where to stamp, so that in case you mess up, you won't mess up the whole thing. So if I mess up, I'm messing up the whole thing tonight. But we're just going to keep our fingers crossed that I won't. I am going to use basic gray. I don't want really stark black. And I really didn't want to use any of the colors that are in there. But let me show you what I'm using. I am using one of the sentiments from Ridiculously Awesome. You guys, this is retiring, so if you like this stamp set, you better get it before it's gone. And I was trying to decide if I wanted to use You Are Like a Diamond, Resilient, Strong and Beautiful from Strong and Beautiful. The stamp set also is retiring, and I'm very, very sad about that. But It happens. Okay, I'm going to ink this up really good. And then I'm just going to hope that I don't mess this up. And I'm just going to stamp straight down. Oh yeah, it's pretty, but I've been messing up. All right, so this isn't supposed to go down that far. So I'm going to cut that tip just like that. Okay, so we've got that and we've got that. And then, let's see. Then you want to put it on a card base. So let's pull in some purple posy. I think we'll use some purple posy. Purple posy is retiring. Boo-hoo. Okay, and I don't think this is the right size. This is a lot smaller than what I need. So let me pull in a whole sheet here. Oh, actually, here's one that's cut. Okay, so we'll use that. We're going to fold this in half. Oops, it slid on me. Fold that in half. Take my golden folder. I know, aren't they beautiful colors? And then you want to just put that down on there. So you can pop this up too if you wanted to. Thank you so much for the hearts. Or you can just glue it flat. I am going to glue it flat. And I am going to give this one a little trim right here because it is poking up just a little bit. Just like that. Okay. Make sure I put it on the right way and not upside down. And just like that. Okay. My little flower where it tore right there. Alright, so that is how you do that. Just don't do what I did. Okay, so then we have the negative part to it. And you know what? I really want to go ahead and do this one because this one, but it's going to take forever to do that. Maybe I'll just do it and take a picture of it. Okay, so here's our negative piece here. And then I also have another negative piece right here too from another one that I did. So we have both of those. And then I did not put the dimensionals on these. So this one, we're going to have to get that started. The stitching is going to hold that paper in that press and seal down in there. So you're going to have to take your pokey tool, oops, and kind of lift that up the best that you can from the corner. And then just kind of carefully remove this from there. Just like that. So that came up much easier. All right, so, and then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to take your dimensionals and you're just going to make sure that you put plenty on there for lots of support because you don't want this to like be saggy. So I'll come back in with some smaller pieces to hit those spots. This won't take too long because this is just much smaller than our big frame was. Okay, so that was a whole lot faster, but I want to take some pieces here and kind of trim these to make smaller ones to go in the smaller sections here. So I've got that piece there. Okay, yeah, that's not going to cover. Okay, so, or I mean, it's not going to stick out the side. Come on. Keep sticking my fat head in the camera tonight, too. I'm sorry, you guys. Okay, there we go. And then we need another one for this piece right here. All right. Well, phooey. Phooey, phooey. All right. So this piece right here is really too small. I'm not even going to worry about it. We'll lose it, but it's not going to really make much of a difference. So I'm going to cut this in half because that is not going to fit. A whole one isn't going to fit there. Okay, so now we're just going to pull all the backings off of this. And this is where it gets really kind of, I don't know what the right word is, but your fingers start sticking to the press and seal, and they start sticking to the dimensionals where the backing's off, and it's like, oh boy. I think I got them all. Nope, one more right here. I think I did. Okay, yep. All right, so now I'm going to bring in a piece of cardstock. I should have one. If I don't, we will cut one. We will cut one. Okay. We'll just cut one. Move that out of the way. Bring in our trimmer, and we're going to do a, I think I'm going to do a 5 1/4 again. 5 1/4 by 4. And then I want to try something, but I'm not sure. Let me see here. That goes like that. Yeah, so I think I'm going to flip this card over because I don't want any of the cut edges to be showing. I'm going to bring this in probably about 1/2 inch, I think. What did I just do? Here it is. Yeah, I should be okay if I come in. Maybe I'll come in 3/8 of an inch. So 3/8 of an inch. No, I'm going to go ahead and do 1/2 inch. If I mess up, I mess up, right? Okay, so we're going to score at 1/2 inch. We're going to go around all sides, scoring at 1/2 inch. I'm just trying to make this one a little bit more fancier. Just step it up a notch or two. And you could take your dies and make a little teeny bitty frame with it too. Okay, so I got that. So see, when you flip it over, you have that raised edge in there. And it looks really cool, I think. And you can do it double too, where it goes doubled all the way around. So you have double score lines. Now what did I do with, here it is. Right here, folded back, and then what we're going to do, I want to lay this way, so you're going to just carefully kind of center this right in there, and I'm looking at it at an angle, so I don't know how far I am from the top, but I'm just going to guess. Alright, so then we're going to press these down and make sure that they're nice and stuck on there, and then we're just going to carefully peel this off again. Step it up a notch. Yep, Chris, step it up a notch. I love stepping it up a notch too, which I forgot to do on the frame card, so I'll bring it back in because we're gonna put a little bit of bling bling on it too. Kind of dress it up a little bit. Okay, There we go. So I don't know if you guys can see this. You know what? This is gonna bug me where I rip this, where that press and seal really stuck really good right there. I'm gonna put just a little bit of glue on that just to kind of hold that down so you don't see it. Okay, so can you see that, how that is? It literally looks like it is just floating. So it's a lot like the floating elements, only you didn't use the window sheets, the acetate paper. You just use the press and seal. So there's no shiny under that, as whereas the floating elements there were. This is just floating. All right, and you can use the, what's it called? There is a tape adhesive sheet, like it's tacky, but it's kind of like a Post-it note, maybe a little bit more tackier. You can use that. You can use Post-it notes, whatever you wanted to use for it. I think Post-it notes would be a little difficult, but you could use them. Let's decorate these. Okay, so we need to put this on a card base though. So I am going to pull in another sheet of this purple posy. So I do have to cut one, so that's okay. We'll cut this at 5.5. Actually, you know what? I haven't done one like this, so we'll do 4 1/4. So we'll do 4 1/4, just like that. We're going to score this at 5.5. Score that at 5.5. Give it a nice little fold. I scored this one when I cut it against the grain because it's harder to fold that way. So we want to score it. It makes it easier to fold. And then we're just going to put that right on there. And I think I'm going to pop this one up too. I think I am. I think we're going to pop that one up and see what a difference it makes. Okay. Pull the backings off of these. Just going to try to get this on as straight as we can. Not too bad. Okay, now we just have the insides to do, and we have this. So let me show you what I was doing here. I took the light Daffodil Delight. These are the elegant faceted gems, and I just was lightly just kind of going them over with my alcohol markers, my blends. These are clear. Not all of them are. You get 3 different colors. Like these are kind of like these are probably petal pink. I did color those. Then you get these frosted ones too. So you get the clear, the petal pink, and then frosty ones. They're really, really pretty. And I just colored them just to give them a little bit of a color is all I did. And then I'm going to come in here with this pokey tool, my take your pick tool, and I am just going to kind of fill in where the blank spots are, just to give it some oomph. And let's see. Put one there, and one more right there. Okay, so there we go. So what do you guys think? That's really pretty, isn't it? We could put more here too, but I just really love the way that looks. Okay, and then we've got this one, so let's do that. So we're going to put these, if I can grab this. Let me get some more putty coming out of this. I think I need to, oh, there we go. Here it comes. Okay. And then we're just going to put this come on. put these, put the bigger ones in the bigger holes and then come back in with the little ones. I think is what I'm going to do because I'm just about out of these pretty ones. Okay, and I think that's pretty good. And then we'll put a little one here and maybe a little one here. Nah, I don't like that. Uh-oh, well, it's going to stay there. Put a little one there. All right. So there we go. So what do you guys think? Bling, bling, bling. I know. We all love bling. So I think, you know what you could do too? You could take one of these. Nah, I'm not going to cover the heart up. You could put one right there, but I'm going to leave it alone. All right, so that's it. That's how you do that. So you guys don't do what I did though. Don't forget to trim it before you peel it off. And also, I would take it off of the cardstock. Lay your frame down first and use your washi tape or a Post-it note to hold it in place. Then carefully remove your cardstock and then run it through your... I keep wanting to call the boss the big shot tonight. No, she's the boss. Run it through your cut and emboss machine. And I think it will work easier for you that way because this leaf here isn't even, that one came off because I didn't pull all, make sure you pull all the backings off too. So, and then just try to get it as straight as you can. Like this one, I did pretty good and got it really straight, but this one I didn't. But anyway, so use your negative. And you can use any kind of shapes to cut them out, just like I did with your floating elements. You can use hearts, you can use squares, you can use circles, and all those kinds of things, and you will still get the same look. So this is called the floating frames. And then this is your negative, of course, but this one is a floating frame. Then that one's just using the negative. And then... this is one that I did, and I attached it to the frame, but I didn't like the way that looked. So I think it looks better when it's not attached to the frame that you cut it out with, if that makes sense. I still popped it all up, but I like that. And I like a wider frame than the skinnier frame too. But it's really up to you what you like. And I will make a couple of these in different shapes, like I'll do a circle one. And I think I'm going to use my In the Tropic dies, stamp set and dies, to try to make one really tropical looking. So you guys, thanks so much for joining in tonight. And I want to check y'all's comments and make sure I didn't miss anything. Sorry I messed it up tonight too. Sorry you guys, I forgot a couple steps, but we pulled it out, all but it being crooked. But the crooking was my fault where I cut it earlier. I cut that one earlier so that we didn't have to go through all of the dimensionals and peeling all the backs of them. So that one I just didn't cut straight. Okay. I think that's it. I'm glad you guys love it. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so don't forget the last chance list. Don't forget to RSVP for my next class on April 22nd at 6:30 in the evening. And thanks. Is that Nikki or is that Bella still? All right, you guys. Oh, wow. It does look really pretty on the screen. All right, you guys. Thanks again so much. You guys have a wonderful night and a wonderful weekend. I'll see you Wednesday, okay? Toodly-doo.